Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and let me show you guys what we're going to be working on today.
So if you guys saw in my past video, I installed wall control in this Husky cabinet, and I was able to hang up all these tools. The only difference from that video and this video was that I hung the jigsaw there. The problem with this cabinet is that it's kind of dark in there, and to be honest, the camera doesn't do it justice. It's really dark in there. So the plan and the goal for today is to put under cabinet lighting. But I've done under cabinet lighting on this channel before. For example, we have under cabinet lighting here, and the driver and everything is up here, like you can see, with an outlet. And we also did it upstairs in my kitchen. But I want to do something completely different. I don't want to hook it up and plug it into an outlet like one there and have it on a switch like a normal person. I want to make it more unique. So what I want to do is, as you guys can see, I have a whole bunch of M12 batteries from Milwaukee. So I want to get the LED under cabinet lightings installed there and get them powered with these batteries. So I'm going to try something new for the first time. So I've ordered this LED strip, 16 feet. And the reason why I ordered this one in particular is because it has a plug, and it looks like you could just plug it into the wall. And since you could just plug it into the wall, it'll just turn on and off with that plug. I think that it will be able to work with the M12 kit. And what I'm going to be using to power this is this right here. It's an M12 like connection. So you could put the battery down here. You have a fuse here. So let me see how big the fuse is. It is a 30 amp fuse. And we also have a switch, so we're able to turn it on and off. So as you guys can see, I haven't cut this or tested anything yet because I want to do it in camera. But before I do that, I want to show you why I might have some doubts on why this might not work. So let me open up this pad and show you guys. So if this was a regular setup, the way that I will be doing it, like I've done in the video upstairs in the apartment, I will be getting the power from an outlet. That's a symbol for an outlet. Then running the line to a driver. So it's gonna be like, it's kind of like a transformer inside the driver box. And you're gonna be sending the power to here, which is neutral and hot. And then it's gonna be like some low voltage wire for 24 volt or 12 volt wires, depending on what LED strip you get. This one happens to be a 12 volt because these are 12 volt batteries. And then you connect it to the strip itself. Just like that. In this part right here, we will be putting a switch. So we're able to turn on and off the switch and cut or supply power to the LED strip itself. So let me show you the difference between this setup and what I'm doing. So instead of getting the power from the outlet, we're going to be getting power from the M12 battery. Let me put that there. Then it's going to be sending power to a switch, which is this switch right here. And then we're gonna go directly to the LEDs. Because it doesn't have a driver like this setup, I'm afraid it's not gonna work. And we go back to why I bought this, because I believe that if we were to plug this into a regular outlet that has this connection, the LED will be able to turn on and off. That is the only reason why this setup might work, because this I don't believe needs a driver. It just needs a 12 volt source. But the only way to find that out is to actually do the cutting up of this wire and putting these two wires hooked up to it, and then put the 12 volt battery in. Now, although these batteries say M12 for 12 volts, under load, these batteries go to 10 volts. When it's standing still and not having any power drawn from it, it's actually a 12 volt, but when under load, it's a 10 volt. So we might have some problems with this whole setup. But it's worth a try to see if it works. And if it does work, we're gonna be able to
put it in the closet and have some under cabinet lights powered by a M12 Milwaukee battery. First thing that we're gonna be doing is cutting this line off. I'll do it live. I'm gonna put a wire nut on it and turn on the switch and see if it works. Hopefully it does, because this is what the video is based on. So let's start doing that now.
All right, so pretty basic. Let me show you guys what I did. I just cut this head off right here, stripped the two wires, connected the red to the red and the black to the back. The fuse is in. If I hit the switch, this light should go on. Oh, by the way, the battery is charged, so everything should be working fine. So let's hit this switch and see what happens. Holy crap, it works. It works. So we have M12 Milwaukee powered under cabinet lighting. I really thought this wasn't gonna work. I had very little faith in this whole setup, but it works. It works perfectly.
I am super excited about this right here. So we're gonna have a Milwaukee powered under cabinet lighting. So if you don't want to run wires, or you want to put this setup in maybe your camper where you don't have to have it hooked up to the whole system, this is just as powered to its own system in your camper or in your land crawler, I think it is called. You could do it. This is awesome. So the next step is to take all of this apart, and let me show you guys how I am planning to put it under the cabinet.
Alright, let me stop right there so I could show you guys what I just did. I've showed in another video before about using magnets on these metal cabinets and also wall control. Instead of drilling into them and damaging them, I decided to use magnets, because obviously this thing is very thin, and if I drill through, it's gonna go through the other side. So magnets is the best thing. Also, because we get to move it forward and back, so if we move it too forward, like if it's over here too much, we could just push it back and see if that works for us. So we have the magnets there. You guys saw how I screwed that in. I screwed it using this wonderful bit. I really love this bit. This is like my second time using it on the channel, and this helps a lot. As you can see, I did a test piece here. I just drilled, put threads in it, then took a 632 screw, cut it to length with this tool right here, and yeah, it works perfectly. I did off camera grind that down so it could be flat, and I put tape so that there is no, you know, metal straight in contact, or sharp metal straight in contact with the strip itself. So I got this done right here. Made that hole a little bit bigger to get the wire through. And yeah, the way that we are going to be putting these things together is with these things right here. These are like shrink tubing with solder in it. You use a flame to melt the solder that's inside, and it makes a water sealed connection. And also, you know, I went out and bought some shrink tubing to make it nice, clean, and organized. So yeah, the goal is to, so let's make believe that the shelf, we're looking at the shelf from this way. The goal is to put the light bar in the back over here and put the switch on here with the battery pack magnetized to the side of the cabinet. Since we have the fuse, I'm thinking about just grinding this all open so that we have access in there. So just making this a big hole here and doing all the soldering on this side, and then shoving it back in, and then having the light bar here. And all we're gonna have on this side is the hole to bring the wires in from the battery, and the hole for the switch on this side. So it's a matter of me just going and start cutting this up and putting everything where we need it.
Okay, the switch is off. We're gonna pop the battery in. And if everything went well, when I hit this switch, this light should go on. What do you know? The light went on. Let's put it in place and close this video.
So there you go. It's 100% done and it looks great. I'm really happy that I have under cabinet lighting inside this cabinet because I have light now. I could actually do a little bit of tinkering here on this table. As you guys can see, all the sins now and all the scratches that are here. But let's focus on this light. It looks really good. It worked perfectly. If I have to point out one negative thing, it will be the location of this battery. It kind of sticks out and is messing up with the landscape of this beautiful backsplash, which is the wall control. I put it there because putting it up there crossed my mind, but it's a little bit uncomfortable. There's a lot of stuff up there and it won't work. I thought about putting it down here, but there's so much garbage there and I would hate to have to get on my knees to just change the battery. So this is the most convenient and the easiest place to put it. Worst case scenario, I could take out that battery and use one of these batteries, the 2 amp or 1.5 amp, but that's just the cosmetic. Everything else is working perfectly and I'm very happy with this setup. It's great. It's really good.
And like I said earlier in the video, you could use this setup in almost anything. If you have a camper van and you don't want to hook it up to the system on the camper van, also your overlanding rig, if you don't want to hook it up to the battery system on those things, you don't have to. You could just go with the batteries you already have, which is the M12 batteries. And I believe that any other like Bosch 12 volts or the Makita 12 volts or the DeWalt 12 volts will be able to light this up and work perfectly. I only went with Milwaukee because that's what I have, but you just have to buy the battery like adapter for those companies. So you will be able to do that with any platform. I had many doubts going into this project. Now in hindsight, I don't know why. I guess it's because every time I wired it, I used a driver, but reality is a 12 volt system. As long as the battery is giving off 12 volts, it's gonna be fine. And like I said earlier, when the tool is under load, the battery usually goes from 12 volt to 10 volt. So I kind of thought that was gonna be a problem, but this is not taking up a lot of power, especially when you have a 4 amp battery. That's not gonna be sucking a lot of power, and that I could imagine the runtime of this battery. And if you're interested in seeing the runtime of this battery, I could set up a camera and put a time lapse and maybe make a short on it. If you're interested, leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to make a video on that. But yeah, I hope you guys take this system and put it in your setup, and I would love to see it. Leave a comment down below if you did it. Leave a link to a video that you made. I would love to see it, really. I would really love to see it because it's just a great idea to do this. I can't believe it's not done more often. But I guess now it's time for me to enjoy this light and close this video. If you learned something new, you can show me by giving me a like. Any comments, questions, leave it in the comments down below. And if you're interested in seeing more interesting projects like this one, consider subscribing, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Thanks.